Day 36, 40 days in the wilderness.
Super pumped with one question for you today. What are you willing to risk to be first? I'm standing here at the main gate of Mount Kilimanjaro, and yesterday we summited Mount Kilimanjaro. And today I am standing here with this, my certificate saying that I summited Mount Kilimanjaro, but it almost didn't happen. I almost was medevaced out by helicopter because of my obsession to be first. Let me give you a quick update on the backstory. All week as we've been trekking, and we went on an 8-day trek to the top. Every day we have tried to be the quickest team on the trails. And so the first couple days we were far and away the quickest. But in our defense, we'd been out tracking lions through the bush for 10 or 11 hour days. And most of the people we were trekking with had just gotten off international flights and were out there half jet lagged and all confused. That was fine. But then each day, more trails would come together, which for us meant more competition. Each day we would be the fastest on the trails. When we got to summit day, we got up extra early because we wanted to be the very first to the summit. We thought we would beat the crowd, but lots of groups were out there. And so we rocketed up that mountain, passing groups, bouldering along off trail to be able to get past these groups one by one as we approached trying to get to the summit first. And way off in the distance, we could see two groups with headlamps because you're hiking through the night. We're cruising along. Well, all of a sudden, we start getting up to the really high elevation. And it's super cold. That air for me was getting really thin. I am struggling to breathe. It felt like an elephant was on my chest. And I'm wearing this thing over my face and nose, and it feels like it's restricting my airflow, but I can't take it off because it's so darn cold. I keep trying to stop, but the guide said, you're beyond the point of no return on being able to stop for nice long breaks to catch your breath because there's a risk. The longer you stay at almost 20,000 feet, the more likely you are to get serious altitude sickness or get frostbite. They were like, keep on going. We would go another couple hundred meters and I'd lean on my poles and just try to catch my breath, but I was struggling. And it got to the point where they basically said, you either keep rocketing toward the summit or you need to turn around and descend. I thought, how silly, I dropped this, I'm getting worked up. How silly that someone who could easily summit this if he went really slow, by his obsession to try and get to the summit first, is going to compromise the whole thing. Thankfully, I was able to just gut it out to the summit. We finished to the summit second, but then we made it back to base camp much faster than the other group that had summited to the summit first. By the way, they left way earlier than we did. But here's the thing. I just as easily could have been helicoptered out of there having not made it to the top because of my obsession to be first. I was thinking about that with the Winter Olympics right now. If you're an Olympic figure skater, let's say you're in the second or third position and you can skate just kind of a pedestrian routine that you've done 1,000 times and get second or third guaranteed. But in order to go for the gold, you've got to go with that half twist that you only land about half the time. Are you willing to risk any medaling at all in order to be first? That's a question I want you to think about. I would love for you to put in the comments whether you are someone who's obsessed with being first to the point of compromising the entire mission, or whether you're fine to just grab that bronze medal and say, hey, I medaled, just like many of the people around us say, are going to come back down this trail and get their certificate having summited Mount Kilimanjaro. We are about to jump on our bus. You can see the bus is over here. We are going to head off the mountain, get our first shower in more than a week, and we will catch you tomorrow. Day 8 on Mount Kilimanjaro, final day, headed back out of here. 40 days in the wilderness series. If you missed any of our footage from Belize or tracking lions out in the Serengeti, hit us up. They're a great series. Super pumped up.
If you've ever dreamed of pressing pause and rediscovering what makes your heart sing, I invite you to follow along on our YouTube channel or on Super Pumped Life on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I'll be posting every day, not only a podcast, but updates, stories, bonus coverage, and reflections through this super pumped adventure. If you're one of our awesome audio-only listeners, I would encourage you to go over to YouTube to see the incredible video footage of all that is going on in this 40-day super pumped adventure in the wilderness. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow.